Hi guys and gals, welcome back to the NRL Footy this weekend. On the Barry Charles Footy Show tonight, we will look at the breaking news and the talking points of the week in the NRL, including Payne Haas, Robbie Farah, and so much more. We'll recap Round 3's NRL games. We'll have a look at the game of the round, have a look at in-depth look at how the play went in that game of the round match. 3 tries of the week nominees. What was the try of the week last week? Voted from you at home. Then we'll have a look at the casualty award, my 3 Dally M points for the round, and have a look at the leaderboard for that competition, and then finish off with the NRL preview of the Saturday and Sunday night footy games with the team list and my predictions for each game. Let's have a look at the controversies on week 3 of the NRL. Robbie Farah giving it to his own coach, or should I say his above him as Robbie's assistant coach. Obviously Robbie is going to say nothing doing here. I did nothing wrong, but we know what Robbie's like. He doesn't mince words. It may be a heat-in-the-moment decision to give it to the coach, but it's not a good look for the West Tigers, and Madge must be wanting to crawl into a hole somewhere and not coming back out, because the Tigers just can't take a trick at the moment. Are you like me and sick of all these NRL players doing bad stuff and just keep getting away with it in the NRL? Just slap them on the wrist with a little bit of a fine or a week or so suspension. I'm just going to give you this list, and this is just a list. There's way more players than this, but this is just to give you an idea. Currently got George Burgess, allegedly. Tristan Saylor's in the court right now. Looks like he's going to end up with a guilty plea. You obviously got Jarryd Hayne that's just got out of jail. And then again, to me, he's just clearly guilty, but for whatever reason, some little slight clause he can get out. You had the Matt Lodge incident. You've had Russell Packer with him, having a fight outside a nightclub. You got Sam Burgess doing his thing. You got Todd Carney. You got the drugs of Blake Ferguson and Ben Barber and Andrew Johns, even if it was in England. He clearly was doing it in Australia, and it was never caught the whole time. There was a cover-up there, I can tell you that. Jonathan Thurston, disorderly behaviour. Well, then you got the white substance scandal with Reece Walsh and Cameron Munster and Brandon Smith just in the last pre-season. What are they doing about it, the NRL? Absolutely nothing. You might as well add a slap in the face like Nelson Asafa Solomona. That's okay. We'll do no suspension. Crazy stuff. Paul Vaughan and the Dragons barbecue. Most of them just got a little slap on the wrist. Tedesco Squid Game. Same thing there. Yep, you can get smart to people and it's okay in the NRL. It's about time they cut this stuff out. Doing stupid things, or especially illegal things. It's time for them to say, if you do something like that, you're out of the game. Whether that's a year, 2 years, 4 years, it doesn't matter. You gotta make a stance if you want your game to be clean. And well, the biggest joke of all, Brandon Smith gets off because of All-Star game and doesn't have to miss an NRL game. Absolute crazy and astonishing it was allowed to happen. Are you like me? Enough is enough. When will the game get some balls and say, you're doing drugs, you're out? Now getting on to some other interesting news here was the Brent Reid and Benji Marshall feud on Sam Walker. I have to agree a bit with Benji here. I just think Sam Walker is an out-and-out potential immortal of the future. And yes, his defence needs work, but his attack is second to none. Trent Robinson needs to back his man, put him back at 7. Luke Keary is a 6, out-and-out 6 like Kieran Foran. Solid player, but he's not got the skill set of Sam Walker. Let Sam Walker do what he does best, to cut out passes, everything, and you will see the Roosters come back to where they need to be. Now, the big talking point. Payne Haas wants more money. $1 million. Oh, you might as well go sign up to the Japanese league, mate, because I can't see anyone paying you $1 million. Even if you are the best prop in the game. It just does not make sense to pay him more than $800K. And he's already sort of basically getting that with the Broncos now. And he's wanting more. There's potential a club or two may pay overs for him, but it'll ruin the competition for a premiership. And that's where the Cowboys and the Titans know well. Jason Tamalolo, as well as David Fafita. Now they're struggling to get the rest of their cap in order to be an actual top 8 team, or more importantly, top 4 team. You also got to understand there's other teams that have gone through the same sort of thing. You got Luke Thompson at the moment, and they're trying to get him out of his overpaid thing. Josh Hodgson, the same sort of thing, and they were trying to get him out, and he's eventually going to the Eels, and now his season's over. You got Russell Packer, that was pretty much injured for the last couple of seasons in his contract, and he's getting like $800,000, which just leaves your salary cap out of whack. Now, you want the scoop? You heard it here right now. I honestly believe Reece Walsh will be at the Dolphins in 2023. He'll keep saying the right things, but when the money comes, he will be out the door. I don't know if he will get $1 million, but I think they can get him probably, at the 700, 800k range, which will allow the Dolphins to sign even more quality players. I think the Reece Walsh will be at the Dolphins. And that's where the problem lies. Is there any chance you could keep Reece Walsh at the Warriors? Well, Nathan Brown's got to go. I still don't understand how he even got the top job to start off with. Even though I want to back you, Brownie, but you just have not delivered for many clubs. He is a lovely guy, no doubt about it, but the results matter. And the Warriors squad is close to a top 8 squad, if not the 8th best team in the comp in terms of the players they have got. You look at Adam Fanua, Blake and Matt Lodge. They'll be up with the top 10 props in the game. What is happening in the halves department? That may be the question, and on the wings. But they got the forward pack to match anyone in the NRL. And the way they played on the weekend, they're more like a wooden spoon contender. And the one thing, even though you heard Dylan Walker say when he signed for the Warriors that I want to win a premiership. Well, if he wants to win a premiership, they probably need a better coach. And to me, that coach is Jeff Tuvey, as I said last week. But for some reason, nobody seems to be wanting Jeff Tuvey. But obviously, out of the other selections there, Shane Flanagan, he's probably the hard-nosed sort of player coach we need. But people argue that sort of coaching won't work at the Warriors. Well, Nathan Brown's not working, is he? Cameron Ciraldo is probably, if you're wanting a younger coach, he is probably the man you want to look at signing up. Obviously, some of the other big news that has come out here is Cameron Smith has joined Jonathan Thurston and Josh Hannay as assistant coaches to Billy Slater and the Queensland Maroons. This is an interesting one because there's no doubt how smart Billy Slater is. Jonathan Thurston, he's more free-flowing. He'll be nice for the players as assistant coach. But Cameron Smith, how much of this does he want to own? That is the $1 million question you have to ask. Billy, can you keep Cameron Smith under control? Because you know what Cameron Smith's like. He really want to get in there, and that's going to be the key for their success. You may be watching behind his back here, Billy, as Cameron Smith comes for the coaching job of the future. I don't think there'll be any issues, to be honest, but it's just a little bit of a side note on that one. But one thing is for sure, there'll be pressure on Queensland to deliver this year. They've got no excuses in terms of coaching staff. And when you have players of the potential of Ponga and Walsh and Sam Walker, mix them in with the players that have been there, done there, like Gagai and Munster, and obviously you got the inclusion of a Grant type player as well. They have a team that can play footy. Now let's look at a few players that could be looking for a fresh start either mid-season or next season. Tex Hoy, he's playing very good for the Knights, and I don't know if he's going to be playing this week, but he should be. He was outstanding getting himself involved. There's a few clubs that could do with Tex Hoy in their squad. So it'll be interesting to watch this space what happens there. Jeremiah Nanai, where is he going to end up? I hope for the Cowboys' sake he stays there, but come on Warriors. Not just the Warriors, there'll be heaps of clubs. Dolphins even. There's got to be some big plays on this player. It's going to be interesting where it lies. Does he have the loyalty, or is he going to chase the money? If he chases the money, he'll end up somewhere else. Looking at players that are not playing at the moment, you've got Luke Metcalf at the Shark. The Warriors were hard and were trying to really get him. Will they change? You never know. And Tulatau Kuala at the Manly Seagulls, he's still not getting a run, and he has got speed to burn, and he might be on his way to another club mid-season if he can't get some game time at Manly. What a round of footy that was. Round 3. There were some tight matches. Yeah, Nico Hines showing his class beyond his years, giving the Dragons team a lesson on how to play footy. The Warriors' first Tigers game. What's doing for both teams? Both coaches are under serious pressure to deliver. The display of footy, even under 8s, could have ditched up something better than that. Michael Maguire is a man wounded, walking wounded, and when his team could not win a game with 11 minutes to go, with 10 minutes of that, having someone sitting out on the sin bin, with only 12 Warriors defenders, they look lost in the headlights. And Michael Maguire is likely gone by round 9 at the latest, if not before, if they continue to lose. Nathan Brown needs to get a turnaround in form again for the Warriors, otherwise he might be looking for a mid-season move. To relaxing back in St. George. Sean Johnson's possible return this week will help his cause. How about the Rabbitohs? How dominant were they against the Roosters? They certainly got up for this game. But I'm just a little bit worried there might have been a oncer. Roosters aren't going that well at the moment and continue to struggle. And with the loss of well over 1,000 NRL games of experience, the Roosters, we're always going to have a dip to start the season. I still see them as a chance of winning the premiership, but they're probably going to have to turn it around quickly. Demetrio will have his work cut out to get the trail and Cody up every week to play consistent footy. Panthers looked a bit lost with Brian Tor out, the meter eater, and it was the first time they looked flustered under pressure. With the team down to 12 men for 50 minutes of the contest, they only really pulled away in the last 10 to 15 minutes from the brain explosion from Mitchell Barnett. He has been one of the Knights' best players over the last 3 years. To come up with a dumb play like that, and he ends up at the judiciary and losing 6 weeks of footy. He's probably lucky it wasn't 10. That sort of footy needs to be rubbed out of the game, but it'd be nice to bring back the shoulder charge. Everyone loves the shoulder charge, but unfortunately, if it goes wrong and it hits them in the head, it's not good. So the Broncos versus the Cowboys. The biggest shock was the result, the score. Broncos versus Cowboys was such a shock. The performance of the Broncos, they're going backwards at a rate of knots. This is the old Broncos 2021. When the going gets tough, they walk away and give up. The Cowboys looked outstanding, but I question the Cowboys' opposition more than how good the Cowboys were. Come back to me in a month, and if the Cowboys can continue to win, then I'll start believing. But I still at the moment see them missing the top 8. Sea Eagles versus the Bulldogs. In the pouring rain at the old Brookie was just as dismal a game like the Warriors and Tigers. Luckily, Cherry Evans scored his outstanding try to put his, but outside that, there was nothing to write home about that game. And at the current form, Manly and Bulldogs, you could see them with the Warriors and Tigers in the bottom 4, currently on form. These teams need to find some consistency fast if they want to make the top 8. Otherwise, it's going to be a long season ahead for all 4 of them. The Raiders versus the Titans was one of the strangest games of the round. How bad were the Raiders in the first half, and the Titans were so good, but then the Titans fell in a heap in the second half. And not icing the game must frustrate Justin Hobb. The Titans are certainly missing Jamal Fogarty, but good on the Raiders for getting the win, which leaves the final game of round 3, which is the Storm versus Parramatta, and this is my game of the round at the Barry Charles Footy Show. I will give you some analysis of how the tries are scored, what the defence were thinking, what the attacks were doing. Well, if you looked at this game, Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses are looking more and more like the best attacking 6 and 7 in the game. Some of you may argue that Munster and Hughes or Keary and Sam Walker have the potential to be just as good. Now let's have a look at the game of the round, the Storm versus Parramatta at Amy Park. I hope you enjoy the analysis.
Here you go. The game of the round. Let's look at the first try here. Cameron Munster right here. He has now got Campbell Gillard looking at him and also trying to come across for the 13. You got Nathan Brown, who was sort of slowed down here. He's in no man's land here. Reid Mahoney hasn't really tried hard here. And then you can see the fullback there, Clint Gufferson, is ready to turn back the other way. Let's just follow the play a little bit longer here. And Reid Mahoney, well, he's actually got there to the shock because he didn't really look like he was going to get there, but he did. But as you can see, Nathan Brown, he is pretty much out of play here with Campbell Gillard, Munster. And let's see what happens in the next play here. Just see how the defence plays here. Watch out for Brandon Smith here in the 23. Look at that. Wide open. What happened there? No one expecting the pass. They're all looking at the player, and that was too easy for the Melbourne Storm. First points to the Storm in this game. Now let's have a look at this again. Brandon Smith after Cameron Munster back in. Beautiful pass here. Let's just pause it here. Again, Nathan Brown has been lazy and come across. And he's just shaking hands with Campbell Gillard there. You got Clint Gufferson putting his hand up going, isn't that a tackle, sir? You got to play to the whistle, mate. Junior Paulo's flat-footed. Even Sean Lane, he's facing the wrong way. He's got no chance of stopping this try. And really, just left the gaping hole there. But really, what was Nathan Brown doing there? He's the major cause of this try, as well as Gufferson. If he wasn't putting his hands up in the air, he probably had more chances of tackling him. As you see here, if he didn't put his hands up in the air, he could have been across and stopped that try, Gufferson. But Nathan Brown, just disappointing if you're a fan. He's probably too busy hanging around with Jared Hayne. Maybe he needs to stop doing that. Good try for the Melbourne Storm. 4-0 here in the big game here at Amy Park. Look at that celebration for Brandon Smith. Now let's have a look here at the second try of the game here. Parramatta Eels, Dylan Brown here. Look at this. We pause it right there. Got Felice Kafusi. It's a pretty shallow defence line. Jesse Bromwich has pretty much given up on the play already. Got Footy there. Jerome Hughes. They're all pretty much looking at Dylan Brown here. Got Sean Lane there. Clint Gufferson on the inside. Reid Mahoney. You got the players out wide here. But just look at this. This is lazy defence right here. Watch this. Boom. Straight through Jerome Hughes. What was Kafusi doing? Left a gaping hole and Gufferson in. Good try for the Parramatta Eels faithful, but really they should have been stopped. What was Kafusi doing? I know it was a one-on-one miss from Jerome Hughes, but there was more that could have happened there. here. There was enough players to stop their try. That's very disappointing. Kaufusi wasn't helping out his halfback. Let's look at the try again here. The offload here earlier in the play here for Clint Gufferson. And Reid Mahoney running it up. And now a bit later play here. Look at the disappointing. What was Kaufusi doing? The Dolphins must be thinking, who have we signed here? A very good try though for Gufferson. Being there and supportive. If he wasn't there was no try. If he didn't come up and support, there was no one there for the inside, and there wouldn't have been a try. But good stuff from the Parramatta Eels. Now let's look at the second try here for the Parramatta Eels. You got Mitchell Moses taking up for Papa Lee, who's had a very good game. Let's have a look here what Reid Mahoney does here. Here we go. Out wide here, out to Mitchell Moses, Dylan Brown. Let's have a look here. Now Dylan Brown here. Look at this compressed defence here. He drew the defenders by coming in close. As you can see, they're going in for the tackles there. They're pretty much all looking at Dylan Brown. Beautiful. Even look at the winger. Clint Gufferson's already overrun the play, so he's not going to get the ball. On the inside, there was even a chance for a pass on the inside here for Sean Lane, but he was a little bit flat-footed. Leaves only one option for Dylan Brown to go out the back to Sean Lane. Sorry, Clint Gufferson's there on the inside. And let's let this play carry on. That was good stuff. Barge over from Wanga Blake. Good try. So it was a payer check, the centre that had overrun the ball, not Clint Gufferson, the effect. But it was a good try. Very good from Waka Blake. Let's have a look at this on the replay here with the Parramatta Eels. Yeah, look at the play here. Look, they're already, most of them are flat-footed before it's even got to Dylan Brown as the play continues out here. But look at this. The winger's trying to save the day out there. Kaufusi, again, he's should have gone on earlier to make that tackle, leaving Jerome Hughes in no man's land again. But it was a beautiful pass. Sean Lane was the dummy. I thought he was going to get the ball there, to be fair. He didn't get it. Went cut out pass to the winger. Good pass from Dylan Brown. Sets up another beautiful try. And can they be destined for the grand final? We will see later in the year. Good stuff from the Parramatta Eels there. Mitchell Moses, but Dylan Brown. Look at that beautiful pass. And the barge over. Yes. Get out of my way, Pappenhausen. Thank you. Great try. We got this. The Parramatta Eels up now 10-6 in the game of the round. Okay, welcome back, guys. So now let's look at the try from the Storm just before the halftime break. Jerome Hughes out here. Now let's have a look at Cameron Munster here. Again, an overrun here from Olam. He's already overrun the play. What to do here? Mitchell Moses is looking at Cameron Munster. They're all looking at Cameron Munster. Even the winger's looking at Cameron Munster. So is Gufferson. Just if you look at every single player here in the Parramatta team here are all looking at Munster. Now, one rule of defence here. Who's looking at the number 12 here? Look. Out the back here, Bromwich. No one, not one single player is looking at Bromwich or Nick Meaney, which means try time, isn't it? No doubt about it. Well, he's not going to give it to an offside player, so he can't go there. So again, only one option to go here. Let's watch the play. Look at this. And they're all going for Bromwich in the end, leaving a huge gap for Nick Meaney to score a beautiful try just before the halftime break. But really, there was poor defence here from Parramatta. Very poor. Mitchell Moses complaining. That's what he likes to do, is complain. But really, the defence was just no good. As the tempers flare here at 12-10. Parramatta over Melbourne. Let's have a look at the replay here. Good stuff here from Jerome Hughes out the back here. But really, it was a simple try. And that's a good lesson for you at home, kid. Some of you have to watch the ball play, no doubt about it. But when you're out wider, you got to see what's happening here. Let's just pause it right there, right now. Already, all the players, apart from one, are looking at Cameron Munster already, and then it turns into every single player looks at Cameron Munster. But the centre there is obviously eyeing up his centre partner at the moment, but then forgets about Kaufusi, leaves an opening gap there, and that's where the try is created. That's where the try is created, folks. That was a prime example of not looking at your man, and it was a nice easy try for Nick Meaney. Really, there was another try that probably should have been stopped, but that is rugby league. Now we come back up for the second half. It's 12-all here, and then have a look at this. Olam straight through the gap. Leaves them wanting here. Then out to Remus Smith. Waka Blake can't get him. Pappenhausen. They're off down the sideline. Here we go. Oh, let's do the dummy. Oh, good tackle there from Gufferson. But what happens in this play right here, right now? Jerome Hughes, bad pass to Munster. But look at this. Look at this. He set this up beautifully here. He sees Nick Meaney right in line with him out wide. No one is expecting this play. No single player on the Parramatta side is expecting a kick. As you can see, with Moses coming up, has just left that gap there. It's really just made Cameron Munster say, hey, you're committed to coming up. The centre has come up. They're not on the line. We've got a clear try here in the corner for Nick Meaney. Beautiful kick. Gufferson, no chance to get there. And really, that was good stuff. And there was Moses coming out of the line. Him and the centre partner. Both rushed up, you've got to make that tackle. If you rush up out of the line, you've got to go make the tackle. Don't let the the good players get that. Otherwise, it's going to be too easy for you. Good try. It was very good from Cameron Munster. That's why he's one of the top players in the game. Justin Wallam with the nice big run. He absolutely good. Nice offload. Even Remus Smith here got away from Waka Blake. Pappenhausen were always up there in support. Out to the winger. They set up a beautiful play. And Guffinson's already out of the play already, obviously. And then a mistake here for Cameron Munster. They all stop because of the mistake from Munster. Moses should have kept running up. And that's what led in the try. When you see a mistake, there's a lot of things that happen in football, and maybe it's just natural reaction. But when that mistake happens, you got to take that tackle. Munster would have been under pressure, and there would have been no try there. So there's another one out there for you kids out at home. Defense. If there's a juggle in the play, don't stop, because that's when often tries will occur. Melbourne take the lead.
Well, Ray Stone, what a legend, and sadly injured too, and out for the season. It was a very good win from Parramatta, and they had their chance to be a premiership contender. Time will tell. What's doing with some of the other teams here, the injuries? There wasn't too many bad injuries in this round. It's going to be interesting to see how each club goes in managing these injuries, because it's a long season ahead, and the less injuries you have, the more chance you have of winning the comp. Let's now look at the tries of the week. We have 3 amazing tries that you can vote on and post below which try you think is the try of the week. Let's go check out the first try of the week.
Well, the first try of the week here, try A. Here, Ray Stone with the winner after the buzzer at Golden Point. Mitchell Moses. The only reason that a front row forward is up there scoring the try, and unfortunately he ends the season, but that is try A of try of the round. Beautiful try from Ray Stone. A match winner. It went up as no try, but if we watch this, it's one of the best side steps you'll ever see from a front rower. And when he did that side step, he's done his ACL, unfortunately. But look at this. If you look there, right now, he is onside. Look, he's got 2 other players in and outside him, and none of them are chasing up. Only Ray Stone chasing up. Look at that, off the goalpost. Leaves Jerome Hughes left footed. Look at that side step. Beautiful, but he did it right there. The side step, unfortunately, but that is try of the week. Try A. Ray Stone for the Parramatta Eels. Let's have a look at try B. Now let's have a look here at try B to Brian Kelly. Look at this. Grab a kick in. Both of them bets it back to Brian Kelly, and they just beautiful. Canberra Raiders were shell-shocked there. Wow. Good kick. I like the old chip and chase play. Very instinctive play. He summed up the defence. They were a little flat-footed. Chad Townsend Nickel Clout start on his goal line. A little grubber and chase. Both of them bets it back. Good stuff. Gold Coast Titans. Try B. Brian Kelly on try of the round. Good stuff. Let's have a look at try C, a game of the round here. Jeremiah Nanai for the Cowboys. Look at this athleticism. Straight over. Good try over Albert Kelly. That is a hat trick for Jeremiah Nanai. Well deserved. A great try for the Cowboys. How simple was that? Look at the crowd celebrating. There might not be many Cowboys there, but I tell you what, they would be loving it. 30 points to 6. Here, try C of game of the round here. Good kick here from Dearden. Isolated Albert Kelly. Great catch from Jeremiah Nanai. Beautiful. That is class. If you want to be a halfback in the NRL, that's how you kick. Aim for the small man, get the big man up there, and he'll do the damage. That was a beautiful kick from Tom Dearden.
Wow, there's some amazing tries here. Which try do you think is the best one? You vote in the comments below. Last week's winner was Daly Cherry Evans. Try B was so good last week. And the Xavier Coates from round 1 scoring in the corner. They're the 2 tries we've got so far. Both outstanding, but I just think the Cherry Evans try just had a bit more finesse. Outstanding. Let's head on to the next segment, and that is the Dalian points of the round. My 1 point goes to Nico Hines. He controlled the game beautifully, and goal kicking was exceptional compared to the week before. My 2 and 3 points from the round come from the same team, and that was the Cowboys. They were outstanding. I give 2 points to Jeremiah Nanai, the hat-trick hero. The only reason he did not get the top 3 points is the only criticism I had, he could have run for more meters. And my 3 points of the round in the same game, to me, Valentine Holmes was the best on field. He absolutely carved them up. From the great tries to the line breaks, to swimming in and out of the defence. Bamboozling the defence, that's for sure. And his goal kicking was so amazing. Now let's check out the full list of the Barry Charles Footy Show Dally M leaderboard, as you can see here on the screen now. And tied for first here is Michaela Ravalawa, Herbie Farnworth, Valentine Holmes, all on 3. On 2, we got Sean O'Sullivan, Isaiah Yo, Jeremiah Nanai, and Dane Gagai 1 point. He could probably deserve more points the way he's been playing. Sam Walker 1 point. And same with Nico Hines. He probably deserves more than 1 point, but I can only pick 3 for the round each week. What a list. It will be interesting to see what our top 13 players will be at the end of the year. You have to stay around to find out. Let's get to the footy preview. And it kicks off first at Saturday afternoon at Moreton Daily Stadium in Redcliffe, where these 2 teams need to find some form very quickly. Will we see a bounce back factor from the Broncos after their disappointing play? And the same with the Warriors. They look flat. Can they deliver? Let's have a look at the home team, the War. At fullback is Reece Walsh. 2 is Adam Pompey. On the other wing is Marcello Montoya. The centre pairing is Jesse Arthurs and Rocco Berry. Chanel Harris-DeVito and Cody Nicarima keep their roles in the halves. And Fanua Blake needs to improve for mine. Wade Egan, I like to see more out of him running out of dummy half. Matt Lodge, 10. Ewan Aiken and Elise Katoa are the second row. Josh Curran, he has been outstanding. He's another player that probably deserves some more points. He's been playing outstanding for the Warriors. Jazz Tavaga on the bench with Bunty Afawa, Aaron Penne and Jack Mucci, which again leaves no room for Ben Murdoch and Masilla. But when you look at the rest of the squad, they're looking a bit bare, the Warriors, with the injuries. But there is a number 24, Sean Johnson. Will he make a return this week? I suggest he won't, and he'll be back the week after, but they're just putting him in just in case. Let's now look at the Brisbane Broncos team to take on the Warriors. We have Tesi Nu, fullback. I'm not sold that he should be the fullback. Corey Oates and Salon Combo, this wing pairing. And Tony Staggs and Herbie Farnworth, the centres. You obviously got Albert Kelly and Adam Reynolds, who had a bit of a shocker with his drop kicks out. Ryan James and Payne Huss, the starting props. Jake Turpin, any more out of him. Palacia, Ricky and Carrigan, they light up the second row and lock. Is a very good looking team. Thomas Fletcher, Kobe Harrington, TC Rowe Party, and 17 is Billy Walters. David Mead is 18th man, and Kurt Capewell has got a little bit of an injury, but he should be back soon. So what should happen in this game between the Warriors and the Broncos? Well, I've been very disappointed in the Warriors. They were so poor last week. So were the Broncos, but I expect the Broncos bounce back here. And although I would love to see the Warriors win, I'm just going to put the points to Broncos here by 12. On current form, I'm just not seeing the Warriors winning this game. But let's hope they do improve and get it done. The next game up on Super Saturday is Manly-WARRINGAH Seagulls taking on the Canberra Raiders at Glen Willow Regional Sports Stadium in Mudgee. Let's have a look at the home team that's taking their home away to a suburban ground, a country ground. This is the Manly Sea. Tom Travojevic, he needs to improve. A bit more of an improved game last week, but they still need a lot more. The wing pairing of Jason Saab and Ruben Garrick. The centre pairing of Brad Parker and Morgan Harper. Same old here. Kieran Foran and Daly Cherry Evans. Sean Kepi, Lachlan Croker, Martin Tapau, Hamori Okakaatu, Andrew Davies, and Jake Travojevic. On the bench is Dylan Walker, Carl Lawton, Evan Muller, and Tanale Paseka. So pretty much the same team. Will Josh Alloway come in? I like to see Kalua come in. George Tafua could bring some attacking finesse to the team as well. Let's look at the Canberra Raiders squad to take on this team. We got Nickel Clock to stay the fullback, centre pairing here of centre pairing of Matthew Tomoko and Semi Falame, some young guns, taking on Nick Kotrick and Jordan Rapano on the wings. Jack Whiten and Brad Snyder again playing at halfback. Josh Papali and Joseph Tarpany the starting props, with Tom Starling, Hudson Young, Corey Hawera and Naira, and Elliot Whitehead. So they got a pretty similar, relaxing team. Not much changes. Matt Frawley, Emma Gula, Adam Elliott and Horry Hosberger. But for me, Xavier Savage has been wasted, and Ryan Sutton, again a good player, and he's been left out. So interesting to see how this goes for the Raiders. This is another game where Manly haven't been convincing, and Raiders as well. But I see Manly getting the one here, and I'm going for 12 points. Now the final game on Super Saturday will be held at the Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. The North Queensland Cowboys taking on the Sydney Roosters. The last game on Saturday night footy. Let's have a look at the North Queensland side to line up here. Got Hamisa Tabalai Fidel at fullback, Kyle Felt and Murray Talangi the wing, Valentine Holmes and Peter Hirku the centres. There's Tom Dearden and Chad Downs. It's a pretty good back line. And Jordan McLean, he's been much improved this season. Reece Robson and hooker. He's obviously doing the running game, but may need a bit more. Cohen Hess, well, will he play? He's a little bit injured. Cohen Hess, he was a little bit injured at the end of that game. Now, Tom Gilbert, Jeremiah Nanai, and Jason Tamalolo, Jake Granville, Ilu Maluki, Ruben Cotter, Griffin names. So not much change there. Scott Drickwater still can't get a game. Another player they could be looking for a mid-season move by there. But they look a pretty solid team, the Cowboys. The Sydney Roosters, even with all these players out, they still have a very good team. Look at this team. James Tedesco, fullback. Daniel Tupou and Billy Smith on the wings. Paul Momorowski and Joseph Manu in the centre pairing. Sam Walker and Luke Keary. Lindsay Collins and Takiaho are the props. Connor Watson, the number 9. Then Nat Butcher, Tupanua, and Victor Radley. It's a very good looking. With Drew Hutchison at 14. Daniel Saluka Fafita, Angus Crichton, and Jared Roria Hardgrave. Very good. This is a very interesting game to me. Who would I go for? Who should be the team to beat here? You got the Cowboys taking on the Roosters, but this could be a close one, but I'm expecting the Roosters to bounce back here and win by 6 points, but can Cowboys show themselves as the real deal by beating the Roosters? We will see. Now, going into Sunday footy, you got the Melbourne Storm and Amy Park taking on the Canterbury Bulldogs. There's no way they're going to lose at Amy Park twice in a row, so we might as well not even do the talk of the team list. I'll just check them out anyway. So fullback for the Melbourne Storm is Ryan Pappenhausen. The wingers are Aaron Meyer and Xavier Coates, comes back from hamstring injury. Remus Smith and Justin Nolan are the centre pairing. The halves pairing of Cameron Munster and Jerome Hughes. You got Jesse Bromwich and Nelson Asofa Solomona. Harry Grant is the hooker, and Felice Kafusi, Kenny Bromwich and Josh King. On the bench is Brandon Smith, Alex McDonald, Trent Loier, and Tepai Maroa. Nick Meaney, he was pretty good last week, and I still don't understand why he's not in the 17, but it's a very good looking Melbourne Storm side. And they also have Tyron Wishart waiting in the wings to come into the squad too. Let's have a look at the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs. Matt Duffy, a fullback. The wingers Braden Burns and Josh Adokar. Aaron Shoup comes in. Brent Naden with Matt Burden and Brandon Wakeham gets another show at number 7. Luke Thompson and Paul Vaughan are the props with Jeremy Marshall King, Corey Waddell, Tavita Pangai, and Josh Jackson at 13. Bailey Bionda Odo, Chris Patolo, Max King, and Ava Safamawanga. So their team has hardly changed, with Jaden Ockenbaugh getting dropped. So how do I see this game go? Melbourne Storm don't lose twice. And the Bulldogs, even though they're a better team, I think the Melbourne Storm might run away with this one and win by 18 points. So the final game on Sunday is between Parramatta Eels and the St. George Illawarra Dragons. CommBank Stadium, Parramatta on Sunday, 6:15 Australian Eastern Time. Let's have a quick look at Parramatta, who were absolutely outstanding last week. Their fullback is Clint Gufferson. Bailey Simonson and Wagga Blake are the wing partnership. Pinasini and Apayachik are the centre pairing. Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses in the halves. Regan Campbell-Gillard and Junior Pulo are the props. Reed Mahoney, Sean Lane, Isaiah Papali. Nathan Brown needs to improve. Makatoa is on the bench. Ryan Madison, Bryce Cartwright and Oregon Kibfusi. Taking on the St. George Dragons team here, Tyro Sloan, Matthew Figai, Mosi Suli, Zach Lomax, Mikale Ravalawa, Amoni, Ben Hunter the halves, Francis Moller and Blake Lowry are the props, Moses Mbai at number 9, Jack Bird, Jack Gowiski and Tarek Sims are the second rowers in lock, Jack DeBellin at 14, Josh Kerr, Jackson Ford and Aaron Woods, a big looking forward pack. Barge over sort of prediction here from the Dragons. They're taking on Parramatta, but I expect Parramatta to be too strong and Parramatta to win by 16. Well, that's all the time we have here at the Barry Charles Footy Show. I hope you really enjoyed this episode 4, as round 4 of the NRL is about to kick off this week. I hope to see you again. Remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button so we can spread the love of rugby league all around the world. Until next time, Barry Charles out.